recorded on my computer. All right, cool. So yeah, we were gonna go over today. Firstly, for anybody who hasn't done it or isn't, needs a little bit of a kind of like a refresher, setting up your Facebook business page. Because nowadays, how we're working right now, promoting yourself through Facebook is going to be massive, and Command has a lot of tools that also help you do that. But kind of like the prerequisite to even getting started with Facebook and Command is making sure you have a Facebook business page set up. So it's very simple to set up. So I'm going to go over the steps right now, and let me share my screen.
And while he's getting that set up, I just want to stress that during this time where we're all stuck at home, I am sure most of you can agree, everybody is living on social media.
Yep.
So now more than ever, you can be reaching people and reconnecting with people on Facebook, which is basically like a second database for you. So definitely, if you don't have your business pages set up, you should work on that and then take advantage of all of the awesome content that Command has.
Well said. So the way that we get started with any sort of Facebook pages that we want to create, they made it very easy for you now. There's a button on the top toolbar here called Create. And you could do this from your mobile device as well. Off the top of my head, I can't remember where they moved all the tools, but because they're updating the mobile app so much. But you could do it from your mobile, but if we're gonna be doing it from our desktop, it's just, we can hit that Create button. And you can notice here that they do have a few options you can actually choose from. You have your pages, which we're gonna do to create our business page, but you can also do things like creating ads or groups. Groups is going to be another important factor with Facebook, and that might be a whole nother class, but groups is a really good way to connect with people. And you can see here, even just like finding people with shared interests.
Blurry. Yeah, someone commented that your resolution isn't coming up.
Is it? Let me try resharing. Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Cool. All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we're back on our Facebook. We're just on our main menu here. And if I want to go ahead and create a new page, we're going to go ahead and hit create. And I'm going to go here where it says page. And you're going to be brought to two different options. So literally you only have one option to choose from: business or brand. So this is where I'm going to hit get started. And then this is simply just choosing a name for your business page. And I always use something common like my name dash, I can say like real estate, or I can say sales associate rather, sales associate at Keller Williams Realty. And then I can even put like the office, like if I want to put my market center there, I can do that as well. And then you can always change this. So just because you added this name now doesn't mean it's going to be permanent. You can always go back and change it if you had to. Now for this category here, we can just put real estate agent.
Excuse me, Chris.
Yeah.
Is this in addition to your business page that you already have on Facebook?
This is just kind of walking through the steps to create one if you haven't already. So if you already have one, you're good to go.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into some of the additional functions in Command that help you kind of use your page and leverage Command with Facebook. So here I'm going to put my address, and I can use my office address here. So I'll just put the Fort Lee one for now. Okay. 07024, and I can just use my cell number here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Now the next step here, it's going to be two different steps. The first step is going to ask me to add a headshot, which right now I don't have one on my computer. but you can essentially take a profile photo and then upload it into your business page. So that can be a headshot. It can be any photo that you think would be appropriate for your business page if you don't have a headshot. But if you have a professional photo, you can definitely upload that here. And then the next step from here is your cover image. So the cover image is essentially, if you're ever on a business page or if you're on anybody's Facebook page, you'll notice that in the background they'll have like some sort of cover image there. And that could be an image kind of like promoting yourself. It could be an image of just, you know, like a standard image of a home. KWCommand actually has some pretty nice ones you can choose from. And I can go into that real quickly just to show you. Actually, let's get through this first and then I'll show you how to get to those so we're all on the same page. So I'm just going to skip this step for now because we're going to come back to it in a second. And it looks like they added a new step here. All right, cool. We have a get online bookings through Facebook. Do you want to add Facebook's free appointment booking tool to your page? I want to play around with that a little bit more, so I'm just going to hit not now. But it looks like that's also available to you as a tool to book appointments. Very awesome stuff. So once this is generated, you're going to have something very similar to this. It's essentially just a blank canvas, as you can see. And typically what I would do first is I always choose the username. So the username is just going to be like a shortcut to find this page. So I might do something like this, like Seeger a realtor, or real estate, or Keller Williams. So something like that, just so it's easier for people to find me, or I might pull my full name as well. So something like that, just to keep it short, because otherwise it's going to be this long, ugly link, and I don't want to have to copy and paste that into a million things. So you can create a shortcut, essentially. So you're going to notice when it's created on the top, this is going to change. So you see how it becomes almost like a shorter link. So when I'm promoting this page, it's going to have a shortcut link now that makes it a little easier to find. And I can also use this when I'm, putting it into my marketing profile on command. So we'll go into that as well. I'm just going to copy this for the future. All right, so as we move down this list, they do start to give you some kind of like suggested things to do to kind of like, upkeep the page. So I would also add a button here. And the button can be a way for people to contact me or to download my app, which would also be super useful because we do have a new Keller Williams app that you can pop into here. But I'm just going to use the contact form for now, and I'll have them just send me a message directly. But again, you can customize this however you want, essentially your page. So let's just go down here and just review some of the stuff on here just to make sure we're kind of good to go right now. Again, I would go back and then update my photo. I'm also going to add a cover image here. So once I go into command, I'm going to show you where you can retrieve those. But let's just make sure we have everything here. That's pretty much good to go. So my main contact information, that looks good. I have my general info here, which we did fill out. Now you can also add your email as a contact and then your website. And then you can also add additional information like an about me, kind of like a short little bio. Again, it can only be up to 255 characters, so I wouldn't make this something too long. That you can use here where it says our story. You can pop in a bio there, like a full page. You can see here if I open it up, it's almost essentially like an editor, like a Word document. So you can pop in images, you can pop in like a full-on bio, and once you save it or publish it, that will be on your page. And you can always come back and update that later. So from here, it's really, there's not a lot of other things you would need to really do. Obviously, we're not a restaurant, so we're not adding a menu. But there's some tabs here that I might get rid of because I'm not going to need some of these. So in that case, I can just go up to my settings, and let's go down to, they change this? Oh, here we go, sorry. Templates. And under templates, I'm just going to disable some of those tabs. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. So if you already had a business page created and you're currently watching this video, these are some helpful tips for you. Under here, they do kind of like try to steer it in the right direction, as you can see. So it already defaulted it to services. So I could hypothetically go in, and if I want to add, you know, maybe my services that I can provide to my clients as an agent, you can definitely go back and do that. Reviews, that's super useful. The shop, I'm not actually selling anything, so I'm going to disable that. Offers, I'm also going to disable because I don't think I really need that right now as well. And then the other ones I'm going to leave. So the other ones look good. I think we're all set with that. You can also add additional tabs if you'd like. I like to have mine a little bit minimal, so I'm going to keep it like this. So as we go back, you're going to notice now that the tabs that are currently available, it's a little bit more optimized. And sorry, my computer's just running a little bit slow today. So once this loads, you're going to just see like all the tabs on the left-hand side now. Looks good. Now, it's still looking pretty bare bones. I want to add a cover image, and you can also notice here this little pop-up screen. If you wanted to have quick replies set up, that's essentially it's like a bot that anybody who visits your page, they'll get like a little pop-up like message box here, and it's going to ask them like, hey, any questions you have, just leave a message here. And those are kind of your quick replies. So you know, like if somebody's on your page and they send a message, the bot's going to capture that and then send you back the notification. So that's also pretty useful. So you could turn that on by default. And that's again in the settings menu here, which I'm just going to run back into real quickly. While that's loading, anybody have questions so far?
No, I don't see any.
Cool. All right, so we turned on our instant replies, and Facebook is kind enough now to give you a little bit of a preview of what it looks like. And you can also edit the message if you wanted to. So they do have a message in here that you can edit. I usually just leave it defaulted, but you could go and add your own kind of, you know, little personal touch to it. Personalizations as well, it's also pretty cool. So it creates like a merge tag. So you can spice it up, you can make it whatever you want, you know, however you want it to look. And they give you a nice little preview on the left, or right, sorry. Let's get out of that. Let's go back to my page. All right, so we're back in the home page again. So what I'm gonna do now is we have the page set up. I'm gonna jump into command. So we're gonna go into command now. So let's just open up a new tab. I'm in command. And we're gonna go into my account. So before I get started with anything, I wanna make sure that my Facebook account is connected with my command. So how do we do that? We have to go into my settings. We go into settings here under my name. And this is a question I get a lot from agents is they're afraid that their personal page is going to be connected with command. That's not the case because they'll see here that it has my name and they will assume that it's their personal page that's connected. Yes and no. It is connected in a sense that it needs to pull from your personal profile to find the pages you manage. So it is using your personal page or personal profile just to pull in the pages you manage. So you're not really, you know, it's not going to find any of your personal information from your personal profile. It's only going to be using your business page. And that's the only way it can allow you to run ads. And it's the only way it can allow you to create your social post within command. So don't be alarmed when you see your name here. It's actually going to be using your business profiles. And if you manage more than one, it's going to be pulling in all the pages you manage currently. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yeah.
Can't see your
Yeah, sorry,
faces.
I had a quick question.
Sure.
So what you were just telling us about, is that under social or is that the marketing automation?
What was that in regards to?
The one that the example you just gave us about the Facebook that we're hooking up, like if I'm looking at my command enter accounts page, I have
Yeah.
my Facebook under social, but I also have it under marketing automation, it appears.
Correct. So I'm actually gonna say connecting both. So one handles one task and the other one handles another. So within command, you'll see that there's two different Facebook. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like Facebook tasks. So one tool is here to connect you with just the post scheduling aspect, which is essentially your regular social media posts. It's going to be like your unpaid advertising, or let's not use the word advertising. Let's use just your everyday, just your everyday posts. The one all the way at the bottom here, where it says marketing automation, this is going to be where we set it up for our social media sponsored ads. So when we're putting together any sort of paid advertising through command, it's going to be running that through our business page, and that just allows us to run our sponsored ads through command without having to do it directly through Facebook. And the one major advantage to doing it through command specifically, not only is it running through an enterprise version of the ad manager, but the ad manager and command is so stripped down and easy to follow that I think for agents, it's a lot easier to kind of manage and kind of digest versus doing the ad manager directly through Facebook. Because if you've ever done it through Facebook directly, there's a lot more options available. So what command did was they simplified it and they really stripped it down to just what you needed, if that makes sense. Cool. So I just want to scroll back up, and if you notice that your account says connect account and you haven't already done it, you just want to go ahead and connect it now. And again, what it's going to do, it's going to ask you to log in. Once you log in, you can see here, this is just connected with my Facebook personal page right now. It's going to ask me which pages I want to connect with command. And that's specific to just post scheduling. So I can have more than one business page connected for post scheduling. It's a little bit different with the ad manager, and I'm going to go into that once we get to that section. But with the ad manager, it's essentially a drop down, and it's going to let you choose from any page you manage. So once that's connected, we are pretty much good to go. Again, don't be alarmed by the personal page that you see here. It's going to be only using your business profile. So that one we just created here, you're going to notice that will appear in my list now of pages I can use for my sponsored posts. So I did mention before, I wanted to be able to pull in a cover image here. So I just want to show you real quickly where you can pull those from. We're just going to go into designs. And under designs, we're going to hit this little plus button. And I'm going to hit social. Just going to go to next. And once this loads up, we're going to go down to a section here. Give it a second. Chugging along here. We're getting there. There's a section under here. You'll notice it's called Business Basics and Social Branding. So there's two options available. We're going to hit Social Branding. Now you have your Twitter cover images. We have my LinkedIn cover images. And we also have Facebook. Now with Facebook, the awesome thing about these is they're already formatted specific to Facebook, so you don't have to worry about the dimensions. It's already preset for you. And I noticed that they have a couple of new ones in here. Again, you can use whichever one you'd like. You can even use, you can create your own if you wanted to as well. They do have the ability to do that in here. I'm going to use this welcome home one. It looks a little pretty wholesome. We'll use that. And I just want to make sure there's, and if there's anything in here that I have to kind of just customize real quickly, I'll do that. It looks like I can also add my DBA logo, which I'll just kind of pop in real quickly here. Just choose one. We'll use the Town Life one. And cool, this looks really good. And again, it was already kind of preset for me. I have the nice little images. Welcome home. I think this is a graphic, so I can't change the wording on that, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and download that now. We'll go ahead and download. Start download. So then we have our cover image available. It gives it a few seconds to download. There we go. So, ooh, sorry, I closed out command. We'll just go back into it. All good. We're going to start from the beginning anyway. Just going back into command, my Facebook, I'm going to add this cover image real quickly. So I'm going to upload this. And I'm just going to select it from wherever I saved it. You know, most likely it's going to be in your downloads or in your desktop. I'm just going to go into my downloads here. There we go. And there we go. We'll just kind of move this up a little bit. Awesome. We'll hit save. And now our cover image is now available. Looks very good. Nice and clean. Everything's proportioned correctly. And we're all set. So I'm actually just going to close out my Facebook. I'm going to go back into command now. And the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and get a Facebook campaign created. And at least if you want to chime in about anything, go for it.
Sure. Do you want me to share my screen, or you're still you're blurry again?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and try yours?
Sure.
I don't know what's up with mine.
I don't know. Okay, so let me share my screen. Does this look okay?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. So once you're in the campaign section, you have a lot of tools in here that can help you manage and create campaigns. So there's two different types. You have your campaigns, which are going to run as paid ads. And then you can also come in your campaign section and promote social posts on your business page. These are two different things. So social posts on your business page are only going to go out to the audience that is following your business page. If you post to your business page, you could then reshare that post to your personal page. Usually we recommend doing that, especially if you're just now starting out with a business page, because if you reshare to your personal, it kind of lets people know, oh, hey, look, they have a business page. Hopefully they will go there and like that page. If you have, you can invite your friends to like your page, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get people to actually commit to doing that. So that's one strategy, and I would recommend for you to be posting on your business page, especially if you just created it. You want to make sure that you have some content up there before you start running ads. I see something in the chat.
Yeah, just answered.
Oh, thanks, Chris. So social posts is a great way to get started. If you come to the social post section, so again, I'm in commands, which is the little megaphone, and then I came over here to social posts. I can then go and scroll down onto the right-hand side and actually allow me to directly post any of these, which these are usually quick posts, what they're called, to promote the mobile app on your business page. These are awesome because they're already pre-designed and pre-written for you. So if I hit one of these little arrows, it will allow me to see the verbiage is already written out. Your app link will already be there, and it already has a design created. You could also upload your own image if you would like to, or if you've had created some images within designs, you could put those in as well. But it's just nice because sometimes people don't really know what to say, especially around promoting the app. So these are already written. If you're not in love with how this sounds, you can actually hit this little shuffle button and it will give you different options of pre-written text. I like the ones with these little emojis. I just always feel like those stand out a little bit more on the timeline. If you scroll down, you have two options here. You could either schedule the post, which you have a calendar, allows you to choose the date and the time that you would like to post. If you keep going down, you have a time adjustment. Or you could publish immediately. So, I mean, this is a great way, and this is something that we could be taking advantage of now. I feel like agents, your mobile app is such a huge capture potential for your database. And that is, if you don't have listings or you're not sure what kind of content you should be promoting, promote your mobile app. You're delivering value. The worst case scenario is someone downloads it and they play with it and they forget about it, you're still their go-to agent connected to that app on their phone. If they ever go back and open it up, you're going to be the agent that they're connected with. And the beauty in that is if they do go back and start looking for homes on your app or right away, you'll be able to see all their activity in your database. So for those of you who are like, well, I'm not sure what to post and I struggle with creating content, you don't have to create content. You have value and you have the content already created for you right here. The other thing is you can schedule these. So I could go ahead and say I want to post this once a week. I could say I want to post this every Wednesday, and I could go ahead and schedule that post. And then what you could do after you schedule it, there's a trick. If you refresh the browser, it will actually swap those out. So now I have some different posts that pop up, and now I can choose another one. Okay, I'm gonna put anyone else getting that issue. Thanks.
I can hear you okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making sure it's not everybody else.
Can you all hear me okay? Yes? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So here you can see now I have a different design. I'm going to choose different font or different verbiage, and I'm going to schedule that one for the following week. Same time, but additional week. So that's awesome. I mean, getting your business page started or for those of you who already have your business page started, take advantage of these posts. You don't have to create anything, and they're already there. You also have these little videos, which are pretty cute. You can actually customize these in designs. I'm not going to dig too much into that right now because I want to show you about the ad campaigns. And this will allow you to manage your whole schedule. So you could see the whole month and all the posts that you have scheduled for that month, which allows you to be a little bit more consistent on social media, which that's the name of the game, is content and consistency. So you have your content in here and it allows you to keep your consistency. If you come over now, I'm going to go to paid ads. So paid ads are different than a social post. A social post, like I said, is just going to go onto your business page, and the people who follow your page or look at the page, visit it, will see that post. We do definitely want content there, and you want to make sure you're keeping that a little bit active, at least posting once every other week. Because if you go to someone's page and you see that it hasn't been active in months, then I'm immediately going to lose, you're going to lose validity as an agent. So social posts, then paid ads. So paid ads are going to be ads that you can run on Facebook that are going to be reaching out to a broader audience. These are not going to be posted on your business page. They're not necessarily going to be seen by your audience. They're going to try to capture new leads and drive more traffic, new traffic to your business page, and hopefully to your app and to your website and to your database. That's the goal. So does that make sense, the difference here? So your social post is just to have content on your page. The paid ads are to try to get new leads and interact with new people. So first thing before you run a paid ad, if you just set up your business page, you want to make sure you have content on that page. If I run an ad and someone does click on it and they come look at my page and it's empty, that's not going to be a great first impression. So first and foremost, get the page set up. Put a couple posts up, even if it's just 2 or 3 things. Then you can start with paid ads. So in the paid ad section, you can come up here where it says create a new campaign. And you have social ad paid. And that's what we're talking about right now, not the social post, because that would be just a post on your page. We're going to talk about a social ad. The first thing that you're going to do at this point is go and name this. So I could say, maybe I'm promoting a listing. Maybe I'm promoting an open house. Maybe I'm promoting my mobile app, which is great. You know, I'm going to capture these people in my database. The next thing I'm going to do is choose my audience here. Who do I want to reach? What's my goal? I'm going to say in this case, I want to attract buyers. I want to attract buyers to download my app. Personally, I have noticed that we get a little bit more lead capture rates with when you choose attract buyers, but that's not proven science or anything. It could be coincidence. But I have noticed that usually gets a better result or return on investment. But I have seen, you know, also good results with other things. So it's hard to say. We're still pretty fresh in this. Now I'm going to choose where am I going to run this campaign. So you can run Facebook, Instagram. Twitter is tricky. I don't want to discourage you from using Twitter if you do use it. But my mentality with social media, and I feel like if you guys are watching this, you know, you're newer to social media. If you gotta be consistent. So Facebook and Instagram, they kind of have a little bit more of a similar audience, or I guess intention, where Twitter is kind of a whole different networking strategy. So if you're already struggling with, if you're new to Facebook and new to Instagram, don't worry about Twitter right now. For real estate, it's probably the hardest of all of them. You have to be on there all day, like constantly. So I would just start out with Facebook. If you're comfortable with Instagram, you can go ahead and do both. Now remember, if you're choosing two platforms, you're going to have to pay almost basically twice as much for this ad. So you have to decide if that's valuable to you. So either Facebook or Facebook and Instagram, and then you're going to hit setup. Okay, so now this is pretty kind of walks you through it. There's these little circles over next to each title, and we need to get a green check mark in each of those circles in order for us to be able to publish our campaign. So I'm going to start out, first thing I have here is I could choose a listing. If you can actually find any listing in the country, a little trick that for those of you who don't have, sometimes your listings won't actually populate at this point, but you can go ahead and toggle it to all listings if you don't see yours come up automatically. That will get ironed out. But you can go to all listings and type in an address. So I'm going to go pull up an address and hit search. And okay, here's the listing that I want. So sometimes if you have that listing on multiple MLSs, just be mindful. You'll see here it shows NJ MLS, NJ, NJ. Sometimes if it's on multiple, like you'll get NJ and Garden State. So just want to make sure you're pulling from your preferred MLS. Then I'm going to go and hit select. And what that does is it pulls in the details, your description, as well as your pictures from your listing. So you don't even have to have those pictures saved on your computer. The next step, and I know I named this promote my app and then I chose a listing, but you know, and I just want to show you the listing capabilities. If I wanted to promote my app, I could show you how to do that as well. Let's say that I'm choosing a listing though, regardless of what the intention is here. So if I'm promoting a listing, I'm promoting an open house, I'm promoting a service area or offering some type of, you know, value or service, like, hey, do you want a free CMA, or would you like to see a virtual tour of this house? The whole concept with an ad is you're trying to bait them to click on learn more. That's the goal. I don't necessarily, you know, it's great that I'm going to brand awareness, because everybody who sees this on their timeline is going to see my name. They're going to see my brand. And it's just all about brand recognition. But really, I want them to click on learn more, because that captures the lead directly into your command database and allows you to follow up with them. You're going to get an email and a phone number for that person. So if I give them all the information that they need in this ad, they're not going to click on it. There's no reason for them to learn more. So if I'm promoting an open house, I would say beautiful or new to market, want to see what's inside. Contact me today or click to learn more. Keep it like, you know, we're trying to encourage them to click here. Underneath that, you have the headline. So, I mean, I kind of wrote that. That might even be a better headline. But that's going to be over here on the side. You can see what the ad is going to look like. So this, we have a little quote up top. You have your headline, which is going to be bold. And then you have what they call a CTA link, which actually means call to action. You can't leave that blank, but you don't want to put anything too important there because sometimes it gets cut off. So I'm going to say new to market, see what's inside, click to learn more. Your chance to own your dream home. Again, like over communicating, I want them to click on learn more. That's really the goal here. So once you, and if this was something I was promoting my app, I would, you know, say like want to set up, or, you know, even better, sick of having to dig for accurate, if I could spell accurate, listing information and market snapshots. Download my mobile app and get started with your personalized experience today. Easy and accurate. And you know, I'm just kind of like making this stuff up, but you kind of are trying, you're marketing. What would draw your attention? Yeah, I didn't go to school for marketing. I just know like the type of things that make me stop and pause on Facebook. I try to think of the things that would make me want to click on learn more. Promoting, you know, challenging them, asking if they want to know the answer to something. It's basically you're baiting them. So again, if this was an open house and I said, here's my open house on 97 Heights Road in Ridgewood on Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m., there's no way they're going to click on the ad because they know now when the open house is live. And they already have the address, so they'll just go look it up on some other site. So you got to have that intention. Just be mindful of that when you're writing this. Once you have your ad text set up, the next step would be to add media. And I'm going to go into add media and configure. And in here, this is pretty awesome. So if I go to add more photos, you can add up to 5 images. And these photos are already pulled in from the listing that I chose. So I don't have to go find them on my computer or find them from the email or save them from the MLS somewhere. I could advertise them. If you're helping another agent with an open house or helping another agent promote their listing, as long as you ask for permission, you can go ahead and run ads on other people's listings. I mean, you're helping them. They want to sell that listing and you want to attract buyers. So I'm going to go here. It's going to allow me to kind of adjust this. One thing that I would be mindful of at this point is you want to make sure if you're running this on Facebook and Instagram, you might want to choose square. Just so that it looks right on both. I personally don't like how square looks on Facebook, but rectangle looks worse on Instagram, if that makes sense. But you could go ahead and choose the layout, and you can add up to 5 photos. So I'm going to go one at a time. I'm going to add my photos and choose how I want them to display, and they'll populate over here. And these are going to slide across as people open up your ad. From there, you could also add a video if you wanted to, or you could upload your own images from your computer or your design library. You want to make sure you don't have, if you are uploading your own images or even uploading your photos, make sure you don't have things like, you know, like this. I probably wouldn't choose that because that's actually a bar. And we noticed that when Facebook notices any type of alcohol or anything that could be even considered any type of alcohol beverage, they won't run the ad. You'll get a lot less traction. So in that case, like that would be a bad example. I'm going to delete that image and choose one that doesn't show any alcohol. The other thing to be mindful of is don't have a lot of text on your ad or photo. If you have a lot of text in there, Facebook, you know, they're not checking these by hand. They have a machine, they have robots that basically are going to run algorithms and try to scan your photos for anything that could be explicit. If you have a lot of text, then they probably just won't run the ad because the robot isn't sure that it could read it or interpret it correctly. So it's just better to use photos, not a lot of text, and make sure there's no alcohol, no glasses of wine or anything like that. Once you have your pictures uploaded, then you can save ad media. And then you're going to go to Facebook and Instagram, your channel options, and configure that. So here it's going to say my account. This is going to be my personal account. And then the page, it's going to show me my business page that I have connected to my personal account. If you have multiple business pages connected to your account, make sure you're choosing the right one. And then here, it's going to ask for ad position on Instagram. I personally always recommend using the Instagram ad, not Instagram story. I don't know about you guys, but again, think of how you interact on social media. When I'm on Instagram, which I'm not even a big user of Instagram, but when I do use Instagram, I don't watch the stories. And when you're clicking through people's stories, if an ad comes up, I just close it. I don't even watch. I won't watch even more than 2 seconds. And it's really easy to just click through them. Where if I am scrolling through the Instagram, you know, the timeline, and I see an ad, actually, there's been a lot of times, I would say more so than anywhere else, that I'll see things on Instagram that are like, oh, that's interesting. And it's usually because it's like a really cool looking photo and it's just really simple captions and it intrigues me. So again, being mindful, I would use Instagram ad. I think you'll get better value out of that, but you obviously can use your discretion. Next thing, it's going to say destination. So I highly recommend, as well as it says right here, use the Facebook lead generation form. The Facebook lead generation form is basically because we have Facebook partnered with Command. And we're, I think, the only company that has that at the moment. When people click on learn more, we have permission to pull their information, meaning their name, their phone number, and their email address, automatically into your database. They don't have to fill out additional lead capture, which is huge because lead capture is hard enough. It's hard enough to get people to click. And then beyond that, if they click on something and the box pops up that says, okay, give me your name and your email and your phone number, then there's no, like, then you have even less chance of them continuing. They'll probably just X that out. So here, all they have to do is click on learn more and their information will go into your database as a lead. This button called action label allows you to change what that button says. So do I want it to say learn more, sign up, apply now? That's all going to be dependent on the type of content in your ad. I usually leave learn more. And then follow-up destination URL, actually on the last page, and it doesn't seem to be letting me scroll over all the way. One of the slides, usually on the ad, has a destination link on it, and you could redirect them. This, I always use the mobile app because, again, I ultimately want them to download my mobile app. And if you come here and choose this site, your mobile app will come up as an option. I don't actually have a mobile app code, so it's not there. But yours will be, I think, number 2 in this list. So you can just go ahead and it'll plug your app link right in. Or if you're promoting a property, you could go ahead and choose either your own website or you could choose the landing page that you made for that property or that area. Be mindful though, again, if you are redirecting them to another page and it has all of the information that they need, they're a lot less likely to contact you. So I usually like to leave the app there. Then you have ad targeting. So ad targeting, you're gonna go and use the custom settings here. It allows you to target a custom audience and you're gonna go ahead and choose, like, what we have found works well is choosing Bergen County. as opposed to a specific town. If I went and chose Ridgewood, and the minimum radius you could do is 20 miles. Don't go below 20. In fact, I would probably put it at like 22, because again, Facebook doesn't really run the ads as much when they're below 20. I know that KW is going to change this so you can't go down to 15. So right now I would say keep it above 20. If I'm in Ridgewood and I have a 22-mile radius, I'm like a big part into basically in New York State, which I don't want to get to. If I choose Bergen County, what it does is it starts me in the center of Bergen County, which I think is like Hackensack-ish. And 22 miles basically will cover all of Bergen County. So I would recommend choosing the center of the county you're trying to target. And then you have the ability to do interests. Now this is something that we're still learning about and exploring, so I can't tell you with certainty which are the best interests to choose. But what I recommend if you want to use interests are using things that have to do with real estate. So basically what the interests are they representing, this is what other things people have interacted with on Facebook. And if they've interacted with said interest, then they're more likely to see this ad. That's huge because, Facebook has, I don't know, it's like, I forget the number. It's like 200 million people. It's crazy. Everybody is on Facebook. Majority of those people, or not a majority, but a good chunk of those people are not in the age range to be buying a home. So they're either retired and they're already in their forever home, or they've downsized, or they're like, at 13, 14 years old. At that age, at 13 or 14, I think that's when they're allowed to make Facebook. So I don't want to invest my ad dollars in advertising to 13-year-olds, and I don't necessarily want to invest in advertising to people who aren't planning on buying or selling. So I recommend choosing things that have to do with real estate. Great ones are all of the websites. So you could go ahead and do Zillow. You have Realtor.com on here. There's Homes.com. If you type in the word home, actually, like there's architecture, interior design, appliances, anything that you feel would be relevant for people who are liking or engaging in this kind of stuff. Those are the people I want to see this ad. So that's what the interests are. If you're unsure about it, you don't have to use the interests, but then you're risking the fact that your ad is going to go to people who are not in the correct demographic. You cannot target by age or income or anything like that anymore because it's discriminatory. Okay, then underneath there you have your duration and budget. What they recommend is doing a minimum of 10 days with at least $1 per channel. So as I said before, in this case, I'm using Facebook and Instagram. I want to make sure that I am doing $2 a day. So that's going to bring me up to $40 total. If you're only doing Facebook, then you could bring this to $1. I have people who get good results even if they run an ad for 5 days and maybe spend $2. So that's $10. And people are getting, multiple, maybe 5 leads off a $10 ad. That is unheard of. Those leads will then go directly into your database. They're your leads that you can follow up with. Down here where it says use automatic placement, you can distribute, like, do I want to spend more money towards Facebook, or do I want to invest more money towards Instagram? You could decide how you want to do that, or you could just distribute evenly in terms of your ad dollars. Once you have that decided, and again, I would play with it. I recommend to agents, you don't have to go all in with your money. Just spend $10 on an ad and then spend $10 on another ad. Set them up a little bit different and see which one you get better results from. Try to learn what your audience looks like. Then you have save duration and budget. And once you have, which I like lowered the price all the way.
I was say like $1.
Once you have all of these checks, so now I have all my green circles checked off, it will then allow me to go and publish the campaign. You do have to enter a credit card in here. This money is not going to KW. This money is going directly to Facebook. So just be mindful of that, or Instagram. And then once you put your credit card on file, you could go ahead and create your campaign, and it will come up on your campaign manager, and it's going to say pending. So the campaigns always have to be pending. They're always going to start the next morning. So if you plan accordingly, if you're promoting an open house or a listing, especially an open house is more timely, you want to make sure you set it up on like Wednesday so the ad starts on Thursday. If you wait until Friday to set up the ad, it's not going to go live until Saturday. Or, you know, Saturday would go live on Sunday, and then it's kind of, you miss that opportunity. So just be mindful, always start a day ahead if you have a time frame that you're targeting. And as long as you don't have anything that's explicit or any of that, your ad will run. And then you'll be able to track that within here. So I know Chris has like some ads that maybe he could show his screen. It shows you how much you're paying per impression, and an impression means that they saw it. So if I'm on Facebook and I scroll past something, if I scroll down my page, now this is an impression. I've paused and I've actually just seen it. That counts as an impression. If I click on the ad, meaning that I open it up to see the content inside, so like this, if I want to click on this photo, now that counts as a click. And the people who are considered leads, so that's cost per impression, cost per click, and cost per lead capture, if they clicked on learn more, that would be captured as a lead. And you'll be able to see your leads right here. You could either click the number that shows up here, which will show you all the leads that came from this specific campaign, or you can click up here, it'll show you all the leads you've captured from campaigns so far. Any questions so far?
Nothing in the chat.
I don't see anything.
But I do have, I do just have a, like a campaign page pulled up if you want me to show it.
Yeah,
like
go
what
ahead.
that all looks like. Let me see if I can just share my screen again. And I'm just using George's as an example because, you know, we work together on some of this stuff. Can everybody see the screen all right?
It's a little blurry, but it's not bad.
All right, well, you can see here like how he has it set up currently. They're running into Facebook. He has about 4 of them that he did, and he has 1 that's currently active. Now you can also see his cost per impressions, cost per click, cost per lead captured. Now this is pretty impressive, $1.29, and he's captured 30 leads. So if I go and actually click on this little button here, it's going to bring me to that specific campaign and all the leads that were currently captured. One really nice thing that KW introduced about a week or 2 ago is the ability to track your leads from your home page. So there is a page on your home screen now as well, or a widget, if you want to call it that. There's a widget on your front screen where if we scroll down to the bottom, by default, it's going to pull up here and it's going to show me all the current leads that I have in my database that have been captured recently. So these are just a couple, or it's like about 6 of them that it's showing right now. These are some of the leads, and I can go through, there's about 6 pages, and it shows you where they were coming from, and it gives you like a little sliver of their information as well. And that can all be tracked just from this one screen, which is really awesome. Does that make sense to everybody? So just to kind of give you an idea of what this will look like after you start kind of putting the pieces together.
We have a question on Facebook that said, name of page, do you use as property address or description to capture? Do you mean the name of the ad? That when you're naming the ad, or the campaign, that's just for your own reference.
Yeah.
You can name it whatever will help you remember what the goal was with that ad. So either a property address.
Yeah, so you can see like for he just called it Lyndhurst. That was just a way to kind of, for him to recognize what ad that was running for. And you can see here what he did. And this is something I would also suggest doing. And I like how he did it, where he had like the little click here to learn more. And it's kind of having those like pointing down emojis. So like when they click that learn more button, takes them directly to his destination URL. And by that time, they would have already been captured as a lead as well. And this also gives you just some ideas of what it'll look like on a mobile device. I believe it has some Instagram. No, it doesn't have the Instagram feed here, but you know, just all the different mobile type of ads that it can populate. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, they recently added those previews in. So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Super useful.
What's up, Danny?
All right. So let's say somebody who you already know, who's already in your database, sees a Facebook, either ad or social post. They click on it, but they have a different Facebook name. You know, a lot of people have like fake Facebook name. Is this going to generate a whole new thing in my command database?
Yeah, but the chances of someone who is in your database seeing your ad on Facebook, it's like so slim because you saw those audiences are like millions of people.
Right.
So the chances of them being in your database already and then also seeing your ad and clicking on it, I mean, that is possible. But it's just, I don't think it's going to happen a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what if it just goes off social posts? You just post it onto your
Well,
personal.
no, a social post, if they're not going to get, you don't have the lead capture on a social post. They have to fill out their information.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
So the only time you're pulling the Facebook lead capture is when you're paying for Facebook for it.
Gotcha. Understood.
Awesome mustache, by the way.
Man, thank you, everybody. It's a hit at Keller Williams.
It's definitely a hit.
Thanks. Guys.
So I actually have to join Rasham for something, so I'm gonna jump off. But
Cool.
Chris, I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
know if
stay in for a
anybody-
couple more minutes if anybody had any additional questions.
Okay. Hi, Lynn. I miss you.
Hey, Elise, it's good to see you.
Good to
Thank
see
you for all this
you.
information. I only had one question. I think I have to backpedal about 4 screens, but how many subjects or towns are you allowed to select? Where'd you go, Elise? You just jumped off.
You had to bounce off, so I can answer that for you.
Oh,
You can only actually select one at a time right now, so it's one per ad.
oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, right now I think they're doing it just to kind of keep things more optimized.
Right.
But her suggestion, and I also suggested as well, is if you're going to be doing like a specific town, you can do it by county. So like she selected Bergen County, and she did a radius of 20 miles, which would cover essentially the whole or most of the county. I don't know how big
Right.
Bergen County is, but yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But it's centrally located. It like pinpoints and then it goes out like a circle, right?
Yeah, correct. So I'm thinking it's doing, I want to say Hackensack. I think she also thinks it's Hackensack, where it'll put it in the middle and then make like a little bubble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions before we hop off? Or Elise did, but before I get off?
No, good
Yeah.
refresher.
What was that?
Good refresher course.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna post this on YouTube as well, and it will be automatically saved to Facebook. So if you need to watch this again, we'll have a couple ways you can do that.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chris. Nice to meet you.
Got it. Take care.